Hello, everybody. Welcome in once again to another edition of Inside the Lions Den right here on the Queen Sports Network. As always, I'm Mike Lennon, joined today as we talk a little lacrosse and, of course, the newest #1 team in the nation, your Royals lacrosse, women's lacrosse program. And I'm joined by Defensive Player of the Week in the South Atlantic Conference, Grace Guglielmo. And Grace, first off, congrats on the first ever nod as the Defensive Player of the Week, but also congrats on the season so far.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, speaking of the season, talking about this award and, this kind of alludes into what I wanted to talk about with what's going on right now for you guys. But, last week you guys go out and win against Wingate, a very hard fought battle, 19-12 in that game. You had 7 ground balls, 5 draw controls, and 7 caused turnovers. That was a game, and I know you've been in a couple of them this year, that the defense has been what has had to step up. What have you seen that's been different out of your squad this year defensively?
I think we have a really young squad with the exception of myself. The starters are all freshmen and then 3 sophomores with including the goalie. So I think they're just very resilient, eager to learn and just do what's asked of them. And they are so competitive and I trust them so much. So it's been really helpful.
Well, I was talking to a former teammate of yours, Jill Matresic. She was on the broadcast with me last time out,
Yes.
and she singled you out specifically, saying how much she's seen you grown since you came in even last year. What is it about your style of play? Where does it come from, and how have you committed to try to build it a little bit more?
I think I'm just a very competitive person in general. So especially when it comes to competitive sports.
Sure.
I don't know. I always just grew up being super competitive, and now I love being able to compete and bring that on the field. I hate losing so much. So whatever I can do for the team so we can win is whatever I'll do. And I think it also sparked last year after we lost the national championship.
Sure.
I never honestly thought that was something that would happen for me. And then when I transferred here and first year coming in and getting to that national championship game, now it's it's no longer enough just to get there. Now it's a
Sure.
standard and an expectation to get back and win it this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know Coach Short has told me time and time again that she's trying to build that dynasty here in Charlotte. And obviously you guys are well on your way to doing just that. But, you mentioned it, you transferred in here, and, what was it about Queens that drew you to this program? And what is it that has really made you say, yeah, this is what I want to finish my career?
I think, first of all, the city is just awesome. I remember
Sure.
flying into Charlotte and I was I love this city so much. And then meeting Coach Claire and some of the players, I felt it would be a really good fit for me. And the campus was beautiful. The academics were good. So I felt to me, it was a no-brainer.
Well, what is it about, and obviously you were on that team that made that national championship game run a season ago. What is it that's different about this season to you? I know you said it's a little bit younger on the defensive side, but, as a team, what feels different about this squad comparatively speaking to last year?
It's so funny. We always talk about this, how we're such we are so close this year. This is such a special team. I've never been a part of a team where everyone is genuinely so close and just wants everyone to succeed. And I think it's just so many people understanding their role and understanding what they need to do to help the team. But this is a very special group of girls. So I'm excited to see what we do this year.
Well, can you talk a little about your coaching staff? Obviously, Coach Short, and you've had a couple of other assistant coaches since you've been here, and I have to imagine being surrounded by that kind of knowledge of the game, and obviously it's an atmosphere that they want you to flourish. It's not about them; it's about you as a player. But what is it that sticks out to you about this coaching staff?
They are so amazing, our coaches. Every single day they are here, ready, bringing the energy for us, doing what we need to do to get better. And they are I like to call they're the perfect example of tough love, kind of. They're enough hard on us, but then they're also okay, what's going on? What's the problem?
Sure.
Our assistant coach, Christy, she's awesome. She's the volunteer. She'll come off a nursing shift, 20, 12, whatever the nursing shift is, come on no sleep, leave, go back to nursing, come back for our morning practice. So she's awesome.
Sure.
Coach Sarah's new. I think she's really a good coach. She brings this younger, a little bit energy because she's very similar to our age. She was in college not that long ago. So she gets it. But no, they're all awesome, and they understand what it takes to win. I know Coach Claire, when she played, I don't know if she won a national championship or she went
to one. She did. Yeah, she went. Yep.
So she understands like what it takes to get there. So I think that really helps too.
Well, obviously that's evident in the last couple of years. I know you coming in last year. One of the other things I know that stood out to me about you is, of course, you found another, well, I should say, went back to another love of yours, and that, of course, is soccer. And you guys had an unbelievable season this year. Can you talk about that decision to play in the fall as well? I mean, obviously, I realize that is a lot of wear and tear on you, both mentally and physically, but obviously you guys competed at such a high level there, and then, of course, now into lacrosse. What does that help? Has that helped you going into the season?
Yeah, no, I think definitely like at least just in fitness terms, I was like ready to go coming back because I had just come off a full like competitive season. So that was awesome. But I think it just, like I said, like I just like love to compete. So not having like that downtime, it is like a lot on my body and like not a lot of free time, but it is really helpful like leading into lacrosse season and then like next year. Yeah, it's very helpful.
Well, you know what? It's funny. I was going to say, no matter how many years you are indeed here, you will go down in the books as one of the most tenacious defenders that this program has seen. And I know they've seen a lot of good defenders. And so congrats again on getting this award, a very well-deserved award. But I know you guys have that eyes set on the national championship. So congratulations on the #1 ranking as well. Before I let you go, what does that mean? Does that mean much to you guys right now? Or do you look at that and say, okay, that's well-deserved, but we got something to accomplish?
Yeah, I think we actually spoke about this a little bit yesterday in practice. Like it's one thing to get there, but it's like a whole other thing to stay there. And to us, that #1
Sure.
ranking is kind of just like on paper almost. And it's not like we won't feel like
Yeah.
we're #1 until like we have won the national championship and like we're holding that national championship trophy. So I think to us, it just kind of lights more of a fire under us to like get going even more. Like we see that like we can get there, but to like physically accomplish it is going to be like what we're going to keep working towards.
Well, you guys are the fourth #1 in the last 4 weeks. So, again, obviously, I realize that pressure mounts, but from what I have seen, pressure is not necessarily a word in your guys' vocabulary right now. So, go out there. I know you guys got a big game coming up on Saturday. Again, congrats on the award. Best of luck on Saturday. And of course, we're excited to watch you the rest of the season.
Thank you.
My pleasure. All right, that'll do it. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on Inside the Lines. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button down at the bottom. Follow us on YouTube and across social media at Queens Athletics and at QU Sports Network on Twitter. Have a great one, everybody. And as always, go Royals.